If I would describe BTC into one word, I would say innovative.
Family all around. Communications lifeblood of the Bahamas.
This week, Arts and Entertainment Showcase is back with another exciting series. Come and take a journey with us. Make new discoveries, meet new friends, get your groove on, and find your inspiration. Watch Arts and Entertainment Showcase Thursday at 8 p.m., Saturday at 7:30 p.m., and Tuesdays at 10 a.m. on the ZNS Network. You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up first at 6, Chief Justice passes. Condolences pouring in on the death of Chief Justice Stephen Isaacs. Shooting investigation. Police in the capital continue to actively investigate a homicide at a gaming establishment. And drill campers ready. We'll tell you about a drill camp that focuses on several skills. The Bahamas Tonight, first at 6, starts right now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC every day.
Chief Justice Stephen Isaacs has passed. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. Thanks for joining us tonight. The Cabinet Office issued a statement on the passing of Chief Justice, the Honorable Stephen Gerard Isaacs, who died at 11 o'clock this morning at Doctors Hospital. The government extending its sincere condolences to his children, extended family, colleagues, and friends. Chief Justice Isaacs commenced his judicial career in 1994 when he was appointed Assistant Registrar of the Supreme Court. During an illustrious career, Chief Justice Isaacs also served as Registrar of the Court of Appeal and on the Industrial Tribunal before being appointed to the higher judiciary as a Supreme Court Justice in September 2002, when he assumed office as Acting Justice of the Supreme Court and was stationed in Freeport, Grand Bahama. Subsequently, in 2015, he was promoted to the rank of a Senior Justice of the Supreme Court, and in December 2017 was appointed Acting Chief Justice. He was confirmed to the substantive post of Chief Justice of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas by the Governor-General, Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Pindling, on July 9th of this year. Chief Justice Isaacs, throughout his career, was universally lauded as being a judge's judge, of being, in all things, the epitome of the highest standards of conduct of a judicial officer, and for upholding the rule of law, justice, order, and proper decorum in his courtroom. Our Juan Albury spoke with the Deputy Supreme Court Registrar Constance Delancey, who said the atmosphere at the Supreme Court today was very somber when staff learned about the Chief Justice's passing.
Phones started to ring, messages started to pass on to the staff, word of mouth, telephone calls, and usually within 10 and 15 minutes, the entire staff had been made aware that our beloved Chief Justice had passed.
Did you work personally with him? And what type of person was he, in your words?
Yes, as one of his registrars, I would have worked very closely with the Chief Justice. One of the things that I also had to do was act as our Director of Court Services, and so that entailed working with the Chief Justice, sometimes being at his office 2 and 3 times a day to take instructions. Our job as registrars is that we keep things going administratively with the courts, and so that it means reporting to the Chief Justice and taking daily instructions.
Chief Justice Isaacs was just sworn in, but he was acting in the position, as we mentioned, for several months. Delancey said he had already begun to aggressively address the backlog of the court system.
As you know, we have 10 of our judges here in New Providence alone assigned to the criminal side and about 6 judges assigned to the civil side. We have just gotten 1 new judge assigned as we'd lost 1 to retirement. And so one of the things that was on his agenda was coming up with ways to deal with that. We've taken very progressive steps during his short tenure, even as in the acting capacity, to deal with that. We have installed audio-digital in some of the courts, moving towards that in terms of speeding up getting transcripts ready for certain matters. And we were looking at ways to educate and update the knowledge of our staff. We are also conscious of continued training for our judges and our registrars and our magistrate, and that was very high on his agenda.
In other news, Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, the Honorable Michael Pintard, recently visited the island of Abaco and met with officials of Dunlap Petroleum, a Bahamian power supply startup that's hoping to generate up to 24 megawatts of power at a proposed plant in Spring City, Abaco, using biomass technology and locally grown elephant grass. As the project has been in the making for some 5 years and has garnered significant interest from Bahamas Power and Light, Minister Pintard believes the potential to increase production of non-food agricultural products, particularly on Abaco. Some 5,600 acres of land owned by the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation has already been secured for the project. The agreement allows Dunlap Petroleum to study the land, water table, and conduct soil tests to determine optimal growth rates for the proposed biomass material. The proposed plant, if approved, is expected to significantly impact employment on Abaco. The company expects to begin operation within 24 months if given cabinet approval. From the crime beat, police here in New Providence on the hunt for the person responsible for a shooting incident at a gaming establishment on Balfour Avenue and East Street. Police say the shooting was reported to them just before 10 o'clock this morning. Press Liaison Officer, Chief Superintendent Shanta Knowles spoke with reporters about the incident at the scene.
We discovered that a male had been shot and confirmed deceased on the scene. What we know so far is that a young man entered this establishment, went into the restroom. A short time later, the patrons of the establishment heard one shot go off. The man emerged from the restroom, approached a customer, said something to him, and shot him multiple times before he ran from this establishment.
Superintendent Knowles says the victim is believed to be between 25 and 30 years old. She's hoping that a tip will assist police in bringing some closure to the case.
We are appealing to those who were in this business place at the time of this incident, who have information to assist us with this investigation, to give us a call on our Crime Stoppers line or the Central Detective Unit or our 911-919 numbers. The victim is known to us, and so is the information we're getting is that the suspect is also known to us. So in a short time, before the end of the day, we will be releasing a wanted persons flyer, should we not have him in custody before then.
Police in the capital also searched a home on Mildred Avenue off Millers Heights, where they uncovered 6 suspected packages of marijuana valued at $4,600, along with 3 rounds of ammunition. Police say 5 adult men were taken into custody, and they're expected to appear before the courts sometime next week. Meanwhile, Eleuthera police investigating a traffic fatality on that island. Authorities confirmed that it was shortly after 6 a.m. when a man was walking on Queens Highway, south of the settlement of Rock Sound, when he was struck by a green 1998 S70 Volvo driven by a male driver. The victim was examined on the scene and pronounced dead by the local doctor. The driver of the vehicle remained on the scene and is assisting Eleuthera police with this investigation. Now, we understand police traffic division officers from here in Providence will travel to Eleuthera to assist with this investigation. Well, still on news from the Family Island, Sun Oil confirming a diesel fuel leak at the Emerald Bay Marina in Exuma. A release indicated that when the incident happened around 9:30 this past Monday morning, an initial assessment and joint containment effort was conducted by Sun Oil and Emerald Bay personnel that even included an emergency response team from Nassau to provide additional resources and support to manage the incident. The initial investigation revealed that the fuel leak was related to a pipeline. Sun Oil's Deputy General Manager Clinton Roll said the immediate dispatch of the company's emergency management team allowed the leak to create minimal environmental impact. Roll added that the team successfully recovered the fuel from the water by Tuesday, and the complete final remediation process took place this past Wednesday evening. Still to come, we'll tell you about a drill camp that focuses on enhancing several skills. We're just getting started here, first at 6. Stay with us. We've got more news on the next side of the break.
G&M Appliances on Robinson Road has all your air conditioning needs this summer, like the Comfort Star 9000 and 12,000 BTU 13 SEER for just $3.99. Or how about the Comfort Star 18,000 BTU just $5.99? Or how about the Comfort Star 24,000 or 36,000 at the lowest prices possible? We also carry a large selection of air conditioning parts such as fans, compressors, filters, capacitors, or any part you may need. So, call today at 328-2083. We're located on Robinson Road.
When school ends, BTC summer vacation begins. That means freedom to switch it up and break a few rules.
I am flying overseas and when she touch down, she not stop call me. And I nothing for me breed, girl. Me want no cute like a Bob Marley. Me fix them.
Freedom to mix and, of course, mingle. Freedom to go wild and take the fun to a whole new level. Join the BTC Summer Vacation for exclusive rewards, cool prizes, and more.
Okay.
BTC, the bigger, better network.
This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is Commonwealth Bank. And no matter how, no matter where, no matter what, Commonwealth Bank is here for you. Commonwealth Bank, everything we do it for you.
Summer is here, and it's the time of year we love getting together with family and friends. And nothing shows your love more than one of KFC's new buckets. KFC's Bucket Love is all about our freshly prepared chicken, delicious sides, and hot buttery biscuits, starting at just $20. KFC, it's finger looking good.
No matter what your goals are in life, you have to start somewhere. It all begins with Leno. Leno, bridging possibilities. Call us at 396-3225 or email info@lenobahamas.com.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
Thanks so much for staying with us. The countdown is on to the start of the 2018-2019 academic year, and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas is partnering with Stephen C. Monroe International this weekend for a back-to-school extravaganza at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. CEO of Stephen Monroe International, Pastor Stephen Monroe, joins us live in studio. Good evening, Mr. Monroe. How are you doing today?
Good evening, Altaviz.
First of all, tell us about the back-to-school extravaganza tomorrow.
Well, the back-to-school extravaganza starts at 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on tomorrow. And this initiative, we just want to thank ZNS, of course, for partnering with us in this initiative, Help a Child Back to School Extravaganza. This initiative has been around for 3 years. We've been doing this. Stephen C. Monroe International has been helping young kids back to school, giving them new books, bags, backpacks, and shoes. And also we have a lot of food that's going to be there. Basically, it's a fun day that we give back to the kids before they go back to school.
Now, you said, Pastor Monroe, that this has been an event that's been taking place for 3 years now. Tell me about the excitement that the students show when they come to the event, and why would you encourage even more children to come and attend tomorrow's event?
Well, really and truly, to be honest with you, the kids are very excited. Even the parents show their gratitude, sincere gratitude, when they get their bags or their shoes. Some parents leave with tears in their eyes, and they just show their gratitude towards the whole initiative. The thing is, Altaviz, is that when we started this event in 2016, Help a Child Back to School Extravaganza, I realized that you had a few kids who were walking to school with the same shoes, they had the same uniform, and I said, you know what, I want to do something different. I want to be able to help these kids, and as much kids as we can, we help. And I thank God for providing for us with our sponsors.
Thank you so much, Pastor Monroe. Once again, we want to encourage parents and their children to attend the Stephen C. Monroe International Back to School Extravaganza. It begins at 11 o'clock tomorrow at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. Thanks again, Pastor Monroe. Also making news tonight, 11 Bahamian students have been awarded scholarships from the government of the People's Republic of China to pursue various programs of study from the bachelor's to doctoral degrees. A ceremony was recently held at the Chinese Embassy on East Shirley Street. Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Jack Thompson, who was filling in for the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Darren Henfield, noted that the Bahamas and China have enjoyed diplomatic relations since May 1997. Since then, he added, the government of China has graciously awarded scholarships to a multitude of Bahamian students. And from our #1 industry, officials of the renowned Afar magazine have again placed the Bahamas at the forefront of readers' minds as a finalist in its travel awards for the best Caribbean and family destination, going up against countries like the British Virgin Islands, St. Lucia, Canada, Bermuda, Trinidad and Tobago, as well as Antigua and Bermuda. The public can vote at afar.com, and the magazine will reveal the winners on December 13th on afar.com, and the winners will be revealed in their January-February 2019 Where to Go issue. Now, using the hashtag AfarBahamas, guests of the experience were able to generate more than 10,000 impressions on Facebook and Instagram. Well, that does it for National News First at 6. Stay with us. Amajal Knowles is up next with sports.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
Card, you can be in the know right now. Turn on notifications for your Visa card from CIBC First Caribbean, and you will know every time your card is used. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
We'll be with you through new beginnings and sunset endings, through toil and many tears, through the joys and many fears. For all of life's ever-changing moments, trust J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers for all of your insurance needs. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
G&M Appliances on Robinson Road has all your air conditioning needs this summer, like the Comfort Star 9000 and 12,000 BTU 13 SEER for just $399. Or how about the Comfort Star 18,000 BTU just $599? Or how about the Comfort Star 24,000 or 36,000 at the lowest prices possible? We also carry a large selection of air conditioning parts such as fans, compressors, filters, capacitors, or any part you may need. So, call today at 328-2083. We're located on Robinson Road.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Amajal Knowles with your Friday Sports. After being named the 6th Woman of the Year in the WNBA, Jonquel Jones actually in the starting lineup last night for the 4th-seeded Connecticut Sun as they played the 5th-seeded Phoenix Mercury in the second-round single-elimination playoff game at home. The first quarter was close with the Sun holding a 25-24 edge, wherever the Sun increased their advantage to 44-40 at the break. The second half belonged to the Mercury. They outscored the Sun 32-27 in the third and 24-15 in the fourth. The Sun one and done, losing 96-86. Jonquel a good all-around game, finishing 6 for 9 from the field with 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists in just over 26 minutes on the court.
The NPSA finally able to close out its regular season schedule last night. After having their way with BTC on Tuesday before the heavens opened, Sunshine of the Wildcats had to scratch and claw in this one. BTC actually held a 5-3 lead in the 4th inning, but from there the Cats would get it together to score the game's final 9 runs en route to a 12-5 victory. First baseman Krishana Percenti.
Oh man, it was a little bit rough tonight starting out compared to the game prior, which was Tuesday night where we were beating them. We should have won that game. We lost, came back tonight, but we pulled through. We knew this was a game that we had to win, so we got the win.
Melanie Bastian says despite the team's loss, they remain confident.
All I can say is we lost tonight, but we got to get it together. Playoffs start Saturday, and I think we're seeing Wildcats again in the playoffs. We can beat them. We just need to cut down on the errors and focus on getting our bats together.
With that win, the Wildcats wrapped up the regular season pennant on the women's side of the NPSA. Well, the New Providence Football Association gearing up to start another season, and we caught up with one of the league's clubs as they get set to make some serious noise. Head coach of the Dynamos Football Club under-18 girls squad, Carl Lynch, gave an overview of the league.
In the girls 18 and under division, last year we had 6 teams, and I would imagine we should have between 6 and 7 teams this season. Pretty much the same teams. We have the usual characters, Dynamos, Cavaliers, Western Warriors, United, Renegades Football Club. So those are the ones who are normally in the runnings. Yeah.
Now Lynch telling us the difference he sees in coaching between the male and female players.
Between the two, I find the girls are more dedicated, and they will run through the wall for you, and it's unconditional. And they'll do it and work hard. And in the rain, I couldn't get them out of the rain right now. It's coming down, and so that's the main difference I find with the girls. And they'll come out there and have fun with each other, no attitudes. They pull and root for each other, whether they're on the field or on the bench or whatever. So I love it.
6 teams are expected to compete in that division this season.
And that's your first look at sports. I'm Amajal Knowles.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
You can count on me. Just call me and I'll come.
My first memory of music would have been a performance when everyone was singing the song. The song was drop down and come up slow, and everyone in the crowd was singing. I was amazed. I was in shock.
I did not always want to be a performer. I actually wanted to be a doctor. And when I was on my way to med school, I had this whole epiphany, and I went to Berklee College of Music, and that's when I made the switch.
If I weren't singing, I'd be singing. I love track and field.
Many different things inspire me. It isn't anything specific. It's just, just enjoying the environment. And that's what I think music should be about, being free.
Tap of a button, I'm able to get in contact with persons all the way across the world. Technology acts as that bridge that keeps me connected.
BTC in one word, I would have to say clutch.
Connected. Family.
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 Every day, every day, every day.
Hank Johnson. Now that Bahamas residents can fly or cruise free to the Family Islands, what are your summer vacation plans?
We're going to Eleuthera.
And there is no better time than now with the 2 Fly or Cruise Free promotion, where all residents of the Bahamas can fly or cruise free to the Family Islands from Nassau. Refresh, reconnect, and unwind in the Family Islands. For details, go to BahamasResidents.com and fly or cruise free to the Family Islands today.
And now for our feature presentation.
Bahamas, get ready as Stephen C. Monroe International and Partners presents Back to School Extravaganza. It's going down August 25th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium parking lot across from Government High School. Everything is free. School supplies, free shoes, free tennis, free haircuts, free food, free health screening, bouncing castles, and rides. It's going down Saturday, August 25th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's the SEMI's Back to School Extravaganza at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium across from Government High School. Music by DJ Godson from Joy 101.9 FM. It's the Back to School Extravaganza going down August 25th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. See you there. For more information, contact 361-5060.
Sit up now.
In regional news, the Inter-American Development Bank has barred American-based GL Systems, LLC, that was involved in projects in Barbados over engagement in alleged prohibited practices, but declined to say specifically what the company had done. The debarment of GL Systems, LLC will last for 4 years, and that means the company will be ineligible to be awarded and participate in any IDB-financed contract for that period. Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the 190-megawatt power plant being constructed by the Jamaica Public Service can potentially spur increased local and foreign direct investments to Jamaica. Prime Minister Holness said the $330 million project, which is largely financed by local investors and is 2 months ahead of schedule and within budget, is a major achievement for Jamaica. Not only will, he says, it ensure the country's energy security, but reduction in electricity prices for the average Jamaican consumer. And American Airlines is cutting direct flights to Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, starting in November, while Delta Airlines has announced it will begin a weekly flight the following month. American Airlines officials announced that from November 3rd, they will reduce the number of daily flights to Haiti from 6 to 4. The two that have been cut are services from Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport and New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport. But it will continue to operate 3 daily flights connecting Port-au-Prince to Miami International Airport. Delta's additional flight to Haiti from New York's JFK starts December 22nd.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, the tropics remain quiet, but not so in and around the Bahamas. We have quite a bit of instability going on. There is a surface trough just to the north of us, and then we have this mid to upper level trough over the central and southeast Bahamas. Those two systems are creating scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the area tonight, and that will continue off and on tomorrow as well. Outside of our studios, it is partly cloudy with some recent thunderstorms. Temperature 84 degrees, relative humidity 65%. The winds are out of the southeast at 10 miles per hour. Your barometric pressure 1,016.3 millibars. That is 30.01 inches, and it is steady. That's going to do it for your first look at weather 6. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
Thanks so much, Basil. That does it for First at 6. It's time now for a check on stories making news around the northern Bahamas.
Retired business owners say they are hopeful about the future of the Grand Lucayan property. Tribute paid to a tourism pioneer. And an all-points bulletin issued for a murder suspect.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news, there is overwhelming support tonight for the government's decision to purchase the Grand Lucayan property. Business owners in the neighboring Port Lucayan marketplace are applauding the decision. They believe it could be the beginning of a much-needed economic turnaround in Port Lucayan. Italia Hall has the story.
Our ZNS News team visited the Port Lucayan marketplace and spoke with business owners to get their take on the government's decision to purchase the Grand Lucayan Resort. While most say they are encouraged by this new deal and hope that business picks up soon in the area.
It's encouraging, very encouraging, and we're looking forward.
I think it'll be easier for them to find a buyer who will take on the property and do what needs to happen for this area.
I think Hutchinson's haven't been the best people to deal with. They have a lot of leverage on the island, so you can't strong-arm them. But I think this is a step in the right direction, just getting it out of their hands.
I think Port Lucayan will have a big boost because we don't have no nightlife in Port Lucayan.
Now, the Corner Bar has been a part of the Port Lucayan marketplace for over 20 years. Lorenzo Forbes says he's pleased with the government's decision to purchase the Grand Lucayan Resort.
With the government taking over the new hotel, I hope that it stimulates the Port Lucayan and the whole Freeport district as a whole. We hope for bigger and better things to come.
While head bartender at Rum Runners Edison Bain says they too are looking forward to more business.
I think that revenue and business will increase because of the hotel occupancy. We need that, airlifts. So I'm excited. I hope this happens kind of quick because we've been sitting a little while waiting for something to happen. I'm very excited about that.
John Heath, the owner of John Heath Jewelry Store, says he recently had to close one of his stores in Port Lucayan and combine everything in one location. So this new move gives him hope.
It's not anything that I think the government wanted to do, and for sure government should not be running hotels. But we all have to do what we have to do to keep people employed, to stay in business.
The Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union just opened their doors in the marketplace this week. Operations Supervisor Kimberly Russell says they believe that there is a lot of potential in the area.
Now with the purchase, there's an opportunity. There's opportunity for work, there's opportunity for growth, and we want that message to resonate. And that's why we're here.
Colombian Emeralds has been a part of the Port Lucayan marketplace for some 40 years and also had a location in the Grand Lucayan Resort, but was forced to close their doors after Hurricane Matthew. HR and Marketing Assistant Monique Ewing says they are suffering.
The government's decision to purchase our Lucayan strip would mean that we would get different investors to come in and just a little bit of opinion, hopefully that they break it up and they can sell it off to different hotel chains. That would make it more feasible and more attractive.
Now the nation's leader is expected to provide more information on the deal in the House of Assembly next month. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Now, merchants in the market square aren't the only ones celebrating the government's decision to purchase the Grand Lucayan property. Straw vendors are elated as well. The vendors in Port Lucayan depend on tourism traffic to make a living, and they say after many years of struggle, they're now hoping that better days are ahead.
We ain't gotta go to nobody no more. That's our hotel now. Yeah. The Grand Bahamian Hotel now.
Vendors Sylvia Larimore Major and Antoinette Smith say they are extremely grateful that the government has made the decision to purchase the Grand Lucayan. They say they anticipate that the reopening will bring greater economic opportunities.
It is not just for the straw vendors, but all the shop owners here will benefit from that purchase, and it will put people to work. And I thank God for it. You know, we here in Grand Bahama, a lot of people in the Bahamas saying that's the wrong move, but we wearing the shoes, the hard shoes. We are the one who have to pay the bills, and now that he purchased that, it gives us a chance to make money and to put people to work.
It's nice to know that the government has purchased the hotel so that I can feed and put my child through school, you know, and for us as entrepreneurs to make money, because it was really rough. Right now, we don't really have no carnival ships, and that's what we were depending on because of the hotel closed. But now that we know, even though we know it's going to take a process for it to, you know, to be completed and fully operational, at least we know hope is there.
For the naysayers, Smith says that they are on the outside looking in and do not understand the struggles of those directly involved in the tourism sector on Grand Bahama.
See, the persons on the outside who are complaining, they're not a cab driver. They don't know what it's like. So when I heard that the government was buying it, I was all for it because I'm tired of the tourists coming. Oh, what happened to the hotel? When is it, you know, why is it? And you have no answer. So now I know I can put bread on the table for my family.
Both of the vendors say that since the closure of the hotel in October of 2016, business has been terribly slow and inconsistent. According to the straw vendors, the overnight guests that stay in the hotel purchase much more from the straw market.
We wouldn't have to depend just on no ship. The ship people are not spending the monies like how the people who coming into the hotel, they are the big spenders. Yesterday I made $30. Today we have 3 boats in and I haven't hit $50 yet.
Hopefully that the sale already going through and all works out to our best and I can start making monies. Because today I have made $8 and I ate with that. So even though the ships coming in is still rough, but when you see the flow of tourists, like she said, we had 2 shifts. I had 2 shifts. Now by 3 o'clock I just be gone.
Both vendors add that they look forward to the completion of the renovations and the reopening of more rooms and amenities at the Grand Lucayan Resort. Now, the Minister of State for Grand Bahama was among the cabinet ministers joining the Prime Minister on the tour of the Grand Lucayan property on Wednesday. While the government has taken the initial step to take over the property, Minister Thompson says the search is on for a suitable buyer. Now, cabinet ministers also took time out to visit the abandoned Royal Oasis Resort that was an anchor property for the island until it was damaged by the twin storms of 2004. Italia Hall has more.
The Minister of State for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Kwazii Thompson, says the tour and the purchase of the Grand Lucayan Resort is an important step for Grand Bahama and the tourism product. While he accepts that some Bahamians have different views on the government's decision, he says the exercise was crucial for all of the ministers to get a first-hand view of the resort property.
I think it was even more important for the ministers and the Prime Minister to see the Port Lucayan area and to see the connection between the hotel and the Port Lucayan area, which really is the hub for tourism in Grand Bahama right now. And to be able to speak to the straw vendors and the taxi drivers and to the restaurant owners for their views to be heard.
In the meantime, he says the government will continue to search for a qualified buyer.
We are also looking for qualified Bahamians who will be provided with an opportunity to also have a stake and have ownership in our tourism product, have ownership in this industry.
While in Grand Bahama, cabinet ministers also had an opportunity to visit the former Royal Oasis Hotel property and the neighboring International Bazaar.
Seeing the Royal Oasis was evidence of why it was so important for the government to make that necessary step. It was not a step that any government would have wanted to do, but it was a necessary step to be able to prevent the Port Lucayan and to prevent the Grand Lucayan to become another bazaar and become another Royal Oasis.
He says the government recently formed a task force, which includes the Grand Bahama Port Authority and all of the relevant government agencies, to focus on dilapidated buildings in the business sector.
A number of them are breaking the law. A number of them are health hazards. A number of them are eyesores. And we want to be able to systematically address them, which includes buildings like the Royal Oasis. It includes structures like the Bazaar, Xanadu, Casa Bahama, and a number of other commercial buildings.
But as it relates to the Grand Lucayan Resort, The minister says there is still more work to be done, and he believes the government's intervention provides hope for Grand Bahamians. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Natalia Hall.
A man who has made a significant contribution to the development of tourism on Grand Bahama has passed away. Former Director General David Johnson was a pioneer in tourism and led the charge in making the Bahamas a destination of choice. Johnson led the local tourism office for several years and is credited for helping to shape Grand Bahama's tourism image. Tonight, a former colleague is paying tribute to Johnson, a legend in tourism.
David was more than my right hand. David was tourism for Grand Bahama.
Former chairman of the Grand Bahama Island Tourism Board, Willie Moss, reflecting on the life and career of the late David Johnson, Director of Tourism in the Ministry of Tourism. Moss says that Johnson championed the cause of tourism, promoting the unique qualities of Grand Bahama, which attracted tourists to this northern island.
It was his initiative to ensure that the entire island was included in all of the promotions that were done during his time in Grand Bahama as first, I think, as Executive Vice President of the Grand Bahama Island Tourism Promotion Board. And then when I came on board, it was obvious that David knew more about tourism than any of us all put together.
Moss says that Johnson was instrumental in attracting both air and sea companies to the island. She says that he had relationships with any and everybody that could bring tourists to the island.
His friendships have been responsible for so much and contributed so greatly to what we have experienced in Grand Bahama. And he kept us afloat, very much so. During those years when we had those hurricanes, I've been to meetings with him, with Lehman Brothers about driftwood. I've been to meetings with him about branding the island. Anything that he could do to bring tourists to Grand Bahama, he did. And so, yes, he had relationships and he was responsible for a lot of the cruise ships that were coming in and the calls that were made, the celebration, the discovery. And he was also responsible for the initiatives for airlift to the island because the spend of the tourists who come by air is much greater.
Moss says that Johnson's death will indeed leave a great loss on the island and throughout the country.
I wish he didn't go so soon because there were so many other plans that he had for Grand Bahama and so many plans that we had for after we both would have retired, you know. It's just going to be a very sad time, and it's a loss that we will all feel. But David shared all that he knew and all that he had with all who were willing to receive. And so I am certain that there will be somebody or several persons who will evolve now to fill the space and to take up the baton.
David Johnson passed away at the age of 67 following a battle with colon cancer. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
It's time to come on down. Now to the plant nursery at Dolly Madison. They're loaded with indoor and outdoor plants, fruit trees, landscaping plants, flowering plants, herbs, and more at the plant nursery at Dolly Madison. And if you need advice, the friendly, courteous staff at Dolly Madison is there to assist. And don't forget to pick up your soil, fertilizers, and other accessories. Don't wait. Come on down. You can win big with Pizza Hut's Big Dinner Box Summer Deal. Not only will you get 2 delicious medium one-topping pizzas, 5 breadsticks, and juicy wings, and a refreshing 2-liter Coke, you get to enter to win a fabulous 7-day Caribbean cruise for 2 with Gateway Travel on Carnival Cruise Lines.
Mom and Dad used it, and we got money.
Pizza Hut's Big Dinner Box Summer Deal can make you a winner. Other prizes also available. Win big.
Don't miss this episode of Eye on Health as Dr. Ash and guests discuss the topic vision restoration.
You know, God is
He is Jehovah Rapha. He is the healer.
So many people, because they have money, they would, oh, I'm going to this doctor, I'm going to the next doctor. But sometimes the only thing you need to do is to rely on God.
That's this Friday, August 31st at 8 p.m. Vision Restoration. Don't you miss it. Stay informed on your local weather forecast this 2018 hurricane season. Your #1 news station, the ZNS Television Network. We've got you covered. Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Police in Grand Bahama need your help in locating 22-year-old Valentino Austin Pratt, aka T-Boy of Nassau. He is wanted by the Central Detective Unit on Grand Bahama for murder. Pratt is between 6'1" and 6'2", dark brown complexion, slim built, and a gold front tooth. Police say Pratt should be approached with extreme caution, and if you know his whereabouts, you should contact CDU here on Grand Bahama at telephone number 350-3107-12, 911-919, or call your nearest police station. Teen Life Skills Services hosting the Community Cares Back to School Baby Drive on Grand Bahama recently. The program caters to teen mothers seeking to complete their high school education. Founder and President Felicia Carey and her team made a presentation to the PACE Center. The items consisted of baby pampers, wipes, baby clothing, and furniture.
This baby drive is to assist teen parents of Grand Bahama who are facing hardship, and also to assist 5 PACE students with their back-to-school needs with uniforms and back-to-school items along with baby items. We find that teen parents do not finish their high school experience because of teen pregnancy, and that their needs are not being met, so they go into the workforce. This increases the high rate of illiteracy. So we are, as TLS Services, we came together to provide them with their needs so they do not drop out of school, they could finish, and that their in-school experience be a smooth one.
Senior Welfare Officer at the Department of Social Services and Coordinator at the PACE Center, Rochelle Minnis, says the donation will go a long way in helping the teen mothers as they prepare to re-enter the school system.
Presently, we have 5 girls who will be returning to school in September and another 6 girls who will be returning here at the PACE Center. This program has been successful over the years, and so with the help and aid of TLS Services, this can only help in what we are doing here in Grand Bahama with teen mothers. So today, I want to tell Ms. Carey and her team, thank you. I want to say thank you to all of the persons here in Grand Bahama and New Providence who have extended their assistance for our teen mothers.
And now it is time to Ask the Doctor.
I'm Dr. Monique Pratt. Welcome. Darcel asked, I have a teenage daughter who has recently told me she was pregnant. What are some of the health risks associated with teen pregnancy, and how can I promote proper prenatal care? Thanks for your question, Darcel, and I'm most certain that there are many parents that share a similar situation as you do. Pregnancy can be one of the most difficult experiences that a teenage girl can ever face. Understanding how to support your daughter as she deals with pregnancy is extremely important. Pregnant teens and their babies are at a higher risk of experiencing various health problems than those who are older. The most common complications for pregnant teens, particularly for those who are younger than the age of 15, as well as those who don't receive prenatal care, include low levels of iron in the blood, a condition called anemia, high blood pressure, and preterm labor. Babies who are born to teen mothers are more likely to be born prematurely and have a low birth weight. A pregnant teen can improve her chances of having a healthy baby by taking good care of herself. So if you or someone you know has a teenage daughter that is pregnant, help is available. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Don't go away, a check on sports is up next with Ramiko Knowles.
More Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
favorite department store, Park & Shop, is back, and now is the time to take advantage of their back-to-school special. We have all of the popular uniform brands, such as Oxford, Dickies, and Stylewise. Boys shirts, girls blouses, pants, skirts, as low as $16. Socks, belts, ties, and so much more. And don't forget our red tag specials on boys and girls shirts. Park & Shop located downtown Freeport, open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Me from the Bahamas, sun, sand, and sea. A lot of activities, but for you and me. If you don't believe me, then come follow me. Come right down to this place and we call it KFC. KFC the Big G. We got the Big G. KFC the Big G. We got the Big G. No one can beat us at anything we do. No way. Sports, arts, academics, even Junkanoo. We got the best beaches, even the best food. I already tell you, that's just how we do. KFC the Big G. We got the Big G. KFC the Big G. We got the Big G.
Purchase a Big Chief meal today and receive 2 Big Chief collectible cups at all KFC restaurants in Freeport.
Welcome to Sports. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Topping sports this evening, family, friends, loved ones, and members of the sporting community assembling at the Mary Star of the Sea Church to celebrate the life of a man regarded as a sports icon here on the island of Grand Bahama. Former president of the Freeport Lions Club, Michael Aubrey, says, "Never above you, never beneath you, always beside you" is not only the motto of the Lions Club, but it exemplifies the way Christie lived. He says that it is synonymous of how Christie felt about his community and Greg's symbol of equality for all.
And Greg said to me one day, and I quoted this on many occasions, "There's no reward in being a lion." Not really. But in a sense there is. And he put it this way: when you look at the faces of the people whom you've helped, that is your reward.
Reverend Peter Pinder delivering remarks on behalf of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. He says that Christie was a humble person who dedicated his life to serving others.
He was not a showboat. He seemed to not seek any publicity, but the manner in which he lived, performed, and gave support to others is very commendable.
International Softball Federation Hall of Famer Nico C. Grant says that he met Greg in the early 70s and says that they both shared a common interest in the growth and development of young people through sports. Grant says Christie will surely be missed.
We go way back. I've traveled the world with Greg, and I was very fortunate to have Greg as my Secretary General the 3 consecutive terms I served as President of the Bahamas Softball Federation, and was very delighted when he succeeded me. We always wanted softball to advance, And he was the point person in terms of bringing in coaches and empowering clinics to improve the quality of the game.
Now the funeral service takes place this Saturday in the nation's capital at St. Joseph's Catholic Church beginning at 10 a.m. Once again, on behalf of the entire Z&S family, we extend our condolences to the family, friends, and loved ones of the late Gregory Christie. And that's your check on sports for this Friday, August 24th. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Until next time, enjoy your weekend.
It's back to school and back to school savings at Bellevue Business Depot. For all of your back to school and teacher supplies, they have it all at an extra 20% off retail price. Crayons, glue, markers, crayon pencils, backpack, character bags, meat notebooks, and teacher supplies for the classroom, and much, much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the backpack bundles for preschool, primary school, and high school, loaded with all the supplies you need for back to school. Teachers get your first 8-foot butcher fadeless paper free when you purchase a minimum of 10 feet, as well as additional discounts at the Coffee Center. All at Bellevue Business Depot, located on Queens Highway.
Business owners are excited about Z&S Northern Service Storm Central Hurricane packages because advertising rates are discounted up to 50%. That's right, get 50% off advertising packages this hurricane season from now through November 30th. Call our sales department at 351-3430 or 352-9713 and book your advertising package today.
When a hurricane watch or warning is issued, medical emergency services are placed on high alert. For many persons seeking medical care, defining what an emergency is can be difficult to assess given all that is occurring during the storm. The following basic guidelines are designed to help you assess your emergency. If you are experiencing symptoms like shortness of breath, chest pain, severe pain, disorientation, extreme vomiting or diarrhea, vision disturbance, or suicidal thoughts, you should seek immediate medical assistance. If you are bleeding significantly or otherwise severely injured, seek emergency assistance immediately. Children presenting with symptoms like high fever and extremely listless or lethargic behavior need to be taken to the emergency room immediately. If you are unsure of the extent of your condition, you are advised to seek medical assistance immediately. Share your symptoms with the on-call doctor and get advice as to whether or not it can wait until normal business hours. Remember, emergency care is not a convenient option for basic medical care during a storm. The Public Hospitals Authority encourages members of the public to use these basic guidelines to help decide on whether something is an emergency or not. The authority reminds the public that in the case of an emergency, always call 911 or head immediately to the emergency room. This message has been brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority and the National Emergency Management Agency.
And that's going to do it for us here in the North, but be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Megan Shepard. Have a wonderful weekend.
Bowleg. Now that Bahamas residents can fly or cruise free to the family islands, what are your summer vacation plans?
Go to North Andros and the Berry Islands.
And there is no better time than now with the 2 Fly or Cruise Free promotion, where all residents of the Bahamas can fly or cruise free to the family islands from Nassau. Refresh, reconnect, and unwind in the family islands. For details, go to bahamasresidents.com and fly or cruise free to the family islands today.
Welcome, madam, to the Royal Blue Tavern. My name is Leslie, and I will be taking exceptional care of you. Service has been a part of my life for a very long time. I get a sense of satisfaction knowing that my guests came, experienced Bahamian cuisine, fine service, just the shared joy that they get from my service is enough satisfaction for me.
I always said that he was going to kill her the way he beats on her. But I never thought that this day would actually happen. So I prayed to God to deliver her, to deliver them. Isn't that all I could do? What would you have done?
Let's talk. Call the Bahamas Crisis Center's free 24-hour hotline at 328-0922. Sometimes a conversation can change a life.
The Bahamas has quite a story to tell. The sweep of its history and the distinctiveness of its people and culture weave a tale that captivates and fascinates anyone who hears it. From our pirate past to our quiet revolution, from cave paintings in Rum Cay to the creations on Bay Street every Boxing Day and New Year's. There are stories of shocking strife and stunning revival, devastating loss and spectacular success. And above all, the wonderful human story of how Bahamians settled and thrived on these barren rocks and keys, developed a vibrant culture, and created the best little country in the world. This year, ZNS TV 13 will be honoring this wonderful legacy with the 13 on TV 13 documentary series on all kinds of subjects, designed to inform, educate, and entertain you and share with you, the people, their stories and the glories that is the Bahamas. We invite you to join us.
The natural resources of the Bahamas play a critical role in supporting Bahamian livelihoods. For example, the fishing and tourism industry, which include fishermen, seafood exporters, hoteliers, dive operators, restaurants, and others. Collectively, they generate approximately $1.5 billion a year. Therefore, we must respect and preserve what we have. These resources belong to us.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
So let's all do our part to maintain our local economy and a good quality of life. Remember, if we take care of nature, nature will take care of us.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the National Report, Chief Justice passes. Condolences pouring in on the death of Chief Justice Stephen Isaacs. Active shooting investigation. Police in the capital continuing to probe a homicide at a gaming establishment this morning. Junkanoo Jam. We've got details on a summer event for all you Junkanoo lovers. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts right now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC every day.
Justice Stephen Isaacs has passed. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. Thanks for joining us tonight. The Cabinet Office issued a statement on the passing of Chief Justice, the Honorable Stephen Gerard Isaacs, who died at 11 o'clock this morning at Doctors Hospital. We can tell you that the government is extending sincere condolences to his children, Stephen Jr. and Capri, his extended family, colleagues, and friends. Chief Justice Isaacs commenced his judicial career in 1994 when he was appointed Assistant Supreme Court Registrar. During an illustrious career, Justice Isaacs served as Court of Appeal Registrar as well as on the Industrial Tribunal, before being appointed to the higher judiciary as a Supreme Court Justice in September 2002. In 2015, he was promoted to Senior Justice of the Supreme Court, and in December 2017 was appointed Acting Chief Justice. He was confirmed to the substantive post of Chief Justice by the Governor General on July 9th and sworn in to the post on August 10th.
I, Stephen Isaacs, do swear that I will well and truly serve Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, in the office of Chief Justice, and will do right to all manner of people, so help me God.
Now, exactly 14 days ago, Justice Isaacs officially took top post during the ceremony at Government House. It came after months of speculation and calls for him to be appointed to the substantive post of Chief Justice. The post became vacant as former Chief Justice Sir Hartman Longley was elevated to the post of President of the Court of Appeal. After receiving his instruments of appointment, Isaacs talked about the challenges they face with the court's caseload.
Civil judges that are left, they are swamped with those 1,500, 1,700, 1,900 cases that get piled into the system each year. That is something we have to look at. We've been looking at it. We keep looking at it. And we try to distribute the cases a little more evenly. I have the criminal judges hear some civil matters. That's as far as we've gotten so far.
Now, as word spread of the news of the Chief Justice's passing, ZNS News went to the court complex downtown where he spent most of his days. Arvon Aubrey tells us that the proceedings were put off today in honor of the senior judge.
Here at the Supreme Court complex, it's a very sad day with the passing of the Chief Justice, Stephen Isaacs. With me is the Deputy Registrar, Constance Delancey. Tell us, how are things around here?
Well, the atmosphere is very somber here at the Supreme Court. Understandably, the staff are very distraught and upset over the sudden news of the passing of our Chief Justice, having only been installed as Chief Justice 2 weeks ago. We were very excited to start this new era in the judiciary, and to learn this morning that he's passed away, it's been very traumatic for the staff.
One of his concerns was the backlog. Tell us about the workload and his view on the job that he had to do as Chief Justice.
As Chief Justice, he took a very practical approach towards the issue of backlog, and we had already started coming up with a plan in terms of how to tackle that very aggressively. As you know, we have 10 of our judges here in New Providence alone assigned to the criminal side and about 6 judges assigned to the civil side. We have just gotten 1 new judge assigned as we'd lost 1 to retirement. And so one of the things that was on his agenda was coming up with ways to deal with that. We've taken very progressive steps during his short tenure, even as in the acting capacity, to deal with that. We have installed audio-digital in some of the courts, moving towards that in terms of speeding up getting transcripts ready for certain matters. And we were looking at ways to educate and update the knowledge of our staff. We're also conscious of continued training for our judges and our registrars and our magistrates, and that was very high on his agenda.
What was his strength?
His practical approach to law. He knew that he was dealing with the average person. He treated them with dignity and respect. He knew every member of staff's name, from the last custodian to come in the door up to every judge who was here. He knew them personally, and he made you feel personally welcome. The staff knew that they could go to the Chief Justice and they could approach him, and he would be able to communicate with them, not talking down to them, but talking to them in a way that they felt important.
Big shoes to fill?
Huge shoes to fill. You're talking about a person who was well loved when he was our registrar, as he came into the system years ago, worked his way up to judge. You remember he served here and in Grand Bahama. So he's left a rich legacy and enormous shoes to fill, I must say.
Big shoes to fill? And I imagine that post will have to be filled sometime soon. We don't know what the process is going forward, but at this time, we mourn the passing of the Chief Justice, Stephen Isaacs. I am Vaughn Aubrey, ZNS Network News.
Also remembering her boss was Cecilia Davis, who worked with Justice Isaacs for 34 years.
I will miss his kind words, encouraging words. He loved to encourage you to do better. He loved to, even if things is not going the way it's planned, he say, deal with it, get it done, make sure everything is okay. If the person doesn't comply, he'll say, you get back to me and I will talk to the person. That's the type of person he was.
Still ahead tonight, police are actively investigating a shooting incident this morning. And coming up in sports, Jonquil Jones and last night's starting lineup in WNBA action. We're just getting started here on the National Report. We'll see you on the next side of the break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell, fueling journeys that matter. Summer promotion.
Get ready! Commonwealth Bank wants to make this your best summer ever. Get the loan you need at a special discount this summer only. Cash for your best vacation, best laughs, best memories. And want to know the best part? You could win a trip for 4. So don't wait. The discount ends soon. Talk to us today about your best summer ever loan. Approval is fast and easy. Conditions apply.
You can count on me. Just call me and I'll come running. No matter the...
I got into comedy from the day I was born, and I look up and I saw who my parents was. I know my life is gonna be interesting.
The Bahamian people inspire me, like 100%.
I think the keys of the success to the band Visage has been the ability to stay relevant for the many years that the band has been around.
Technology, it keeps me connected.
What technology have done for me is priceless.
I don't know how I would be able to survive without it.
If I would describe BTC into one word, I would say innovative.
Family all around. Communications lifeblood of the Bahamas.
Summer is here, and it's the time of year we love getting together with family and friends. And nothing shows your love more than one of KFC's new buckets. KFC's Bucket Love is all about our freshly prepared chicken, delicious sides, and hot buttery biscuits, starting at just $20. KFC, it's finger looking good.
Sean, what you doing home already? And why you can't do anything I ask you?
Calm down. Everything cool?
Everything always cool, but you running me hard.
I already do everything on the list.
You pay the light bill and phone bill?
Check.
You get the Bahamas Air ticket for me and check the Sky Bahamas tickets for mommy?
Check.
I know you ain't send that MoneyGram to Junior.
I already do that too.
You sicky. You ain't never do everything I ask you.
I go on the Cash and Go and do everything right there.
You pick up dinner too?
Cash and Go don't sell chicken yet. Cash and Go, your one-stop shop for bill paying and so many other things.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
We begin this segment with news from the crime beat. A police chase here in New Providence ends deadly as a young man riding a motorcycle engaged in gunfire with police and was fatally shot following an incident that began around 2 p.m. DeAndre Williamson was at the scene.
A man believed to be in his late 40s was shot and killed by police following a high-speed chase that ended on Lucky Heart Corner.
Police say the incident began here in this area on White's Alley off Moore Avenue, where residents say they heard gunshots being fired from a man who was riding a motorcycle.
Officers was at the residence after executing a warrant, bringing into custody an individual who was found in possession of illegal firearm. As a result of the arrest, during the arrest on scene, there were a number of shots fired just the back street, which is Moore Avenue, of that residence. One of the units responded to make a check. On arrival through that corner, they saw a young man on a motorbike who was armed with a handgun, firing shots in the air.
The incident began around 2 p.m. Assistant Commissioner Clayton Fernandez says when police caught up with the cyclist, they ordered him to stop, and that's when he opened fire on the officers and pulled off.
Officers got back into their vehicle. There was a high-speed chase, which ended up right here. This is Lucky Heart Corner. This is just off East Street to the dead end, where the individual got off the motorbike, still armed, and was firing at the officers, ran into this vacant lot. Officers pursued him. He engaged the officers again, firing. As a result, officers returned fire, and he was fatally shot.
Police say the weapon was recovered along with fired casings and a small quantity of marijuana. They say several vehicles were damaged with gunshots along the route of the chase. However, Assistant Commissioner Fernanda continues to send a stern warning to those involved in criminal activity.
At the end of the day, if you continue, this will be the end result. We don't want it to end like that. So if you're involved in the life of crime, we encourage you to stop. Put down your guns. Turn it in. We can't let a handful of thugs destroy our beautiful country, and we will not stand by and let that happen.
Police weren't able to release the official identity of the man, but residents and relatives who gathered on the scene referred to him as Fowler Boy. Investigations continue into this matter. For ZNS Network News, I'm DeAndre Williamson.
Well, police investigations also continuing into a shooting at a gaming establishment on Balfour Avenue and East Street this morning. Police officers and crime scene investigators spent several hours conducting their probe. Police Press Liaison Officer Chief Superintendent Shanta Knowles gave reporters an update at the scene.
We discovered that a male had been shot and confirmed deceased on the scene. What we know so far is that a young man entered this establishment, went into the restroom. A short time later, the patrons of the establishment heard one shot go off. The man emerged from the restroom, approached a customer, said something to him, and shot him multiple times before he ran from this establishment.
Authorities say the victim is believed to be between 25 and 30 years old, and they're hoping a tip will assist them in bringing some closure to this case.
We are appealing to those who were in this business place at the time of this incident, who have information to assist us with this investigation, to give us a call on our Crime Stoppers line or the Central Detective Unit or our 911-919 numbers. The victim is known to us, and so is the information we're getting is that the suspect is also known to us. So in a short time, before the end of the day, we will be releasing a wanted persons flyer, should we not have him in custody before then.
Well, authorities in Grand Bahama are searching for a 22-year-old Valentino Austin Pratt, also known as T-Boy of New Providence. His picture is on your screen. They want to question him in connection with a murder investigation. Now, he's described as having a dark brown complexion, standing between 6'1" and 6'3", with a slim build. If you have information on his whereabouts, you can call Grand Bahama Police. The numbers 350-3014-911 or 919. Moving now to the island of Eleuthera, investigations continue into a traffic fatality on Queens Highway shortly after 6 this morning. Police say a man was walking in the area when the driver of a green Volvo struck him. He died on the scene. That driver remained on the scene and is assisting police with this investigation. We understand police traffic division officers are on their way to the island to assist with the investigation. Well, we have an update on that oil leak in Exuma at Emerald Bay. Sunol officials say that swift action along with favorable wind and tidal patterns contained the release to a confined area within the Emerald Bay Resort Marina. Containment in conjunction with the immediate dispatch of emergency management teams allowed Sunol officials to quickly remediate the situation to minimize environmental impact. The oil company says they were able to successfully recover the fuel from the water by Tuesday and complete the final remediation process Wednesday evening.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
I'm Belinda Payne, and this is your Royal Fidelity Weekly Market Wrap. The market lost momentum this week, with 128,411 shares crossing the exchange, down from last week. 7 of the 20 publicly traded companies experienced activity this week. The lone advancer for the week was Fidelity Bank, trading 1,000 shares to increase by $1 or 8.33% to a new price of $13 per share. There were 2 decliners this week. AML Foods traded 2,000 shares to close down 11 cents or 2.74% to $3.90 per share. And Cable Bahamas traded 23,089 shares to close down 15 cents, or 5.17% to $2.75 per share. In other company news, Benchmark will hold their annual general meeting on Tuesday the 28th at the British Colonial Hilton at 6 p.m. Here's your well tip for the week. Routinely assessing where your finances stand can benefit you today and down the road. Here are steps to consider. Understand your assets and liabilities. The assets you own and the debts or liabilities you have determine your net worth. Consider calculating your net worth annually by adding the value of all your assets and subtracting your liabilities. This can help you keep tabs on your overall financial picture. Assess your goals. Once a year, think about your short, medium, and long-term goals. And if they are not still relevant, be sure to reevaluate them. Review your pension. You may not do it this week or next week, but at some point this year, take the time to review your pension. Bump up your savings. Deposit rates are on the floor. Consider investing in a mutual fund. Doing so on a monthly basis lowers your risk and can offer better returns. I'm Belinda Payne, and this has been your Royal Fidelity Weekly Market Recap.
We start with a yes, but when life takes unexpected turns, you can still say yes to more. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card gives you points with every purchase that you can use to travel anywhere. Fly on any airline, anywhere, at any time, with no blackout dates. Plus, with just 20,000 Scotia points, you can say yes to destinations. With Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card, it's easier to say yes to everything. Apply today.
Carrie's Fabric and Uniform Store has all your back-to-school needs. Find ready-made uniforms and uniform fabrics for all schools in the Bahamas. You can also have your skirts custom-made. Check out our uniform package deals to help stretch your dollar. Get a skirt, jumper, or pants with a blouse or skirt and a pair of socks in a package for one low price. Find the latest backpacks and school supplies. Shop and save at Carrie's Fabric and Uniform Store on Mackey Street. Call 393-0758.
Whether you're renovating your home, furthering your education, or shopping for a new or used vehicle, RBC offers flexible and convenient financing that fits your budget. Apply online or visit your nearest RBC branch for expert advice on how RBC can help you get a flexible, customized loan at a great rate. RBC, reimagine how you bank.
Life is full of choices. Some are tough, while others, like shopping for weekly specials at Super Value and quality supermarkets, are very, very easy. Snack Pack Juicy Gels or Puddings 4-pack, $1.79. Danish Spare Ribs, $2.49 per pound. Lay's Chips, 1-ounce bags, 2 for 99 cents. Mart's Apple Juice, 11.5-ounce can, 69 cents. Gala Apples, 4 for 99 cents. Armour Lunch Makers, 2.6-ounce size, 2 for $3. The obvious choice for savings is Super Value and quality supermarkets.
We've all got plans for our golden years. Unfortunately for many, this may just be wishful thinking. To generate an annual income in retirement of $70,000 for 20 years at a rate of return of 5%, with inflation running at 3%, requires more than $1.1 million. So how do you save that much money? Many companies provide a group pension plan to help their employees by deducting an amount each month from their pay to contribute to the plan. Personal Pension Plan, or PPP, is similar to a group plan, but offered only to individuals. These plans offer many of the same benefits and features. Contact us for more information on pensions.
There's only one place to find it all, and it's right here at the Builders Mall, where our friendly staff will provide you with everything your project needs.
From electrical supplies to lighting design.
An array of bathroom and plumbing fixtures.
Tools, lumber, shingles, and roofing materials.
Everything for the contractor.
Or the do-it-yourselfer. For the perfect finishing touch, it's the Paint Center.
For a rainbow worth of colors, try Valspar Premium Paint.
Along with Minmax stains to help you finish the job.
Come, stop by next door at Tile King.
And browse an exquisite selection of tiles from around the world.
Plus, granite countertops and medallions.
Setting materials and a full line of Ruby tools for the wall, floor, patio, or pool.
Our standard is superior customer service.
And we are guaranteed to provide you with everything you need and more.
So don't waste time running from place to place. Find it all at Builders Mall.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
The Bahamas spends millions on the food import bill annually, and government is hoping to cut that down through sustainable farming programming right in your backyard. Communication provider Aliv is also promoting the same and has created its own sustainable backyard farming program. Chief Aliv Officer Damian Blackburn says they will be providing residents with starter kits.
The kit includes 120 seedlings, gloves, spade, water hose and a cutlass. We are working with Kwazii. The first trays of crops who were planted in July, on July the 30th, included cabbages, sweet peppers, tomatoes, carrots, bananas, papayas, beans and many others. I look forward to the first meal served up with that lot.
Agriculture Minister, the Honorable Michael Pintard, commended officials of the mobile network for partnering with them.
We are grateful for this relationship that we are establishing with Aliv, who have demonstrated in a wide variety of ways their commitment to the Bahamian society through very innovative programs, and their leadership has shown that they are prepared to be hands-on in terms of making sure that the initiatives they support financially, they are manifesting these initiatives through what they do as a corporate citizen. So I would like to say to the executives of Aliv to continue to be a pace setter in demonstrating what good corporate governance is.
Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, the Honorable Michael Pintard, recently visited the island of Abaco and met with officials of Dunlap Petroleum, a Bahamian power supply startup hoping to generate up to 24 megawatts of power at a proposed plant in Spring City using biomass technology and locally grown elephant grass. As the project has been in the making for some 5 years and has garnered significant interest from Bahamas Power and Light, Minister Pintard believes the potential to increase production of non-food agricultural products, particularly on the island of Abaco. Some 5,600 acres of land owned by the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation has already been secured for the project. Now, the agreement allows Dunlap Petroleum to study the land, water table, as well as conduct soil tests to determine optimal growth rates for the proposed biomass material. The plant, if approved by Cabinet, is expected to significantly impact employment on Abaco, and the company says that with that Cabinet approval, they will be ready to operate within 24 months. We can also tell you tonight that 11 Bahamian students have been awarded scholarships from the government of the People's Republic of China to pursue various tertiary education programs from bachelor's to doctoral degrees. A ceremony was recently held at the Chinese Embassy on East Shirley Street. Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Jack Thompson, who was filling in for Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Darren Henfield, noted that the Bahamas and China have enjoyed diplomatic relations since May 1997. And since then, he added, the government of China has graciously awarded scholarships to a multitude of Bahamian students. Well, with the opening of a new academic year right around the corner, a number of families are in need. A mother with medical issues spoke with our LaDawn Davis and is asking for your help.
On my salary, it's very, very rough.
Mother of four, 31-year-old Stacy Sands and her three children, Jason, Jonathan, and Janae, have been living in squalor in this two-bedroom home with no electricity or water supply because she simply cannot afford to pay the bills. Sands is currently uncertain about her job at a security company after a cancer scare which pushed doctors to perform a surgery earlier this week. She says these ongoing struggles have made it difficult for her and her family to live a comfortable life.
I recently just came off a major operation. Whereas they discovered a mass, just over my right ovary, and that kind of slowed my process, in a significant way. There is a neighbor that loaned me the generator just outside, and when I'm able to, put a little something in there and just use that. And different from that, my kids, they would assist in tote water.
San says the fathers of her children have been in their lives, but not as much as they should. But she says her children are still performing well academically. She is asking for Bahamians to be generous in providing her with school supplies and other necessities.
So I'll start with my youngest, this is Johnny, and she'll be entering grade 1 at Galvantine's Primary. That is Jonathan, and he'll be entering grade 4, and Jason, he'll be entering grade 9 at Anatole Rogers. And it's just the basics, uniforms, school bags, books, that sort of stuff. Just until I anticipate getting on my feet quite quickly.
As a young woman in her early 30s, San says she is quite embarrassed to be facing the struggle she finds herself in, and admitted that her family members are unaware of her living conditions. Her eldest son, 14-year-old Jason Johnson, who attends Anatole Rogers, says the state his family is in affects his academic performance in mathematics, and says he is deeply concerned about the well-being of his family.
I still be by my granddaddy, but I still come and check. I didn't know she had the surgery. I said, well, to come and check and call. I really don't like where she living, where there's no electricity for her to put her meat in the freezer and things like that. Hey, Jenna boy, my mind is just beyond my mommy.
Now, if you want to assist the Sands family, you can do so by contacting Stacy Sands at 818-8672. LaDawn Davis, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, LaDawn. Well, when you send your children to school, their safety is important. And to ensure this, there have been some safety school watches implemented in Eastern New Providence. We'll have that story for you in a later newscast. We can tell you tonight, if you're a Junkanoo lover, then you should be on our Waikiki this Saturday, as 9 Junkanoo groups will parade at our Waikiki and the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence's Junkanoo Jam. It's a fundraiser for groups to raise money for the upcoming Boxing Day and New Year's Day parades. We spoke with Chairman of the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence, Silbert Ferguson.
They will get started at 6 p.m. sharp with colors, breaking the gate, and the Saxons will close at midnight.
How do they benefit? How will the money accrue to them? What do they have to do to make money?
Well, the JCNP has arranged with our sponsors Collect to basically give each of the participating groups a tent. They will have that tent to have their own Junkanoo food and their own group's paraphernalia. Okay, they will be selling those to the general public, and the bar proceeds out at the Junkanoo Jam Festival will be shared between all of the groups who are participating in that evening's schedule.
Ferguson said Junkanoo Jam will be held again in September and November, which leads to the Junkanoo season. Saturday, he says, is a family affair.
We've arranged a 6-hour parade, and so it's a long time to stand. And so what we want to do is we have arranged some seating for persons who want to sit during that period. They are $5 each. We only have 500 seats, and so the tickets will go on sale from midday tomorrow, Saturday, for persons who want to purchase their seats early.
Well, there's more to come. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, your news leader.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
By Chef Boyardee and Libby's Vienna sausages, and you could win $2,000 for a family vacation or other great prizes for back to school. Enter at Pritchard's on Robinson Road today. Promotion ends August 31st.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
Well, before another weekend starts, we want to check the weather in your part of the Bahamas. And Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us at the Weather Center. Happy Friday, Basil. And I understand that this weekend looks like it's going to be somewhat of a rainy one.
Absolutely, Alto. We have a couple of systems in the area. There's a surface trough in the north. We also have that mid to upper level trough in the central and southeastern Bahamas. And those two systems will continue to churn up our atmosphere, keeping it very much unstable. So you can look for pockets of showers heading into the weekend, rendering 1 or 2 thunderstorms as well, which could be heavy at times. But right now, we're going to take a look at temperatures around the Family Islands, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. It is 86 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama. Green Toll Key in Abaco reported 86, 86 in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. In the Berry Islands, 84 degrees. 84 also in Alistown, that's in Bimini. In Harper Island, Eleuthera, 84. Roxanne, Eleuthera, 84. Outerstown, Cat Island at 83. Staniel Key, 84. Kemps Bay, South Andros, Fresh Creek, and Central Andros all reported 84s. Pick up some 83s in San Salvador, Rum Key, Georgetown, Exuma, 1 degree lower at 82 degrees. So we take you into the southeast Bahamas, Clarencetown, Long Island, 84. Crooked Island, 84. Also Betsy Bay, Maguana, Acklands, and Ragged Island. In Matthewtown, Inago, a little warmer there at 85. And Turks and Caicos Island, that is Grand Turk, they have a temperature of 84 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. Tonight through Saturday in the northwestern islands, the winds are going to be not too bad for you boaters. Southeast flow at 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights running 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. So if you intend to do some beaching as well, well, not too bad at all, save for the showers that we anticipate off and on during the course of the day. So you want to keep those rain gears very handy. Low tide will take place at 1 in the morning. The high tide takes place at 6:52 tomorrow morning. And for the southeast and central islands, the winds will be east to southeast. We have a caution flag in place for you boaters. The reason being, the winds are going to be pretty stiff, 15 to 20 knots, very choppy seas at 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. And then as we take you into Sunday, the winds become more easterly. That is a zonal flow, as we say in meteorology. Speeds 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And your high tide, well, that will take place at 7:31 in the morning, with your low tide occurring at 1:37 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands on Sunday, that zonal flow remains in place. The speeds coming down just a tad from that 15 to 20 knot level. So we can look at speeds around 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights also subsiding 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. So we will still keep that caution flag for you boaters in the central and southeastern Bahamas on Sunday. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast. And your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
la la la. I and I hear la 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 la. Don't mind Livingston. Don't mind Livingston. I and I hear la 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 la. I and I hear la 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 la. Going down Weymouth Road, going down Weymouth Road, going down Weymouth Road. I can't lick nobody. Don't lick nobody. Don't lick nobody. Don't lick nobody. Don't lick nobody. Going down.
And that's going to do it for your trial forecast, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 20 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Insect-borne diseases are viral and bacterial illnesses from insect or bug bites. The most common insects that pass on disease are mosquitoes, sandflies, ticks, and fleas. For example, mosquitoes are known for spreading the virus, malaria, dengue, and yellow fever. Symptoms will vary depending on the type of insect that has bitten you. Common symptoms of insect-borne diseases can include fever, chills, headache, sore muscles, skin rash, nausea, stomach pain. There are many actions you can take to reduce the threat of being infected by an insect, including stay out of tall grass and bushes, avoid keeping open containers of water around the yard where mosquitoes can breed, dress in long pants, long sleeves, and a hat if you must be in tall grass and bushes. Tuck your pants into long white socks. Wear light-colored clothing. This makes it easier to spot the insects. Use bug spray that contains the ingredient DEET, such as off. Pay attention to outbreaks through the CDC's travel health notices. If you can, avoid travel to those places during outbreaks. If you have any of the symptoms listed, see your doctor. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Clean clothes for the family, uniforms for the baby, suit for mommy and daddy. We wash the presses and clean the suit. If you wanna look fly and you wanna look clean, if you wanna look fresh, better than all the rest. Bring all your church clothes and all your work clothes. Bring all your children clothes. Super wash.
And now for our feature presentation.
Bahamas, get ready as Stephen C. Monroe International and Partners presents Back to School Extravaganza. It's going down August 25th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium parking lot across from Government High School. Everything is free. School supplies, free shoes, free tennis, free haircuts, free food, free health screening, bouncing castles, and rides. It's going down Saturday, August 25th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's the SEMI's Back to School Extravaganza at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium across from Government High School. Music by DJ Godson from Joy 101.9 FM. It's the Back to School Extravaganza going down August 25th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. See you there. For more information, contact 361-5060.
Sit up now.
The Bahamas has quite a story to tell. The sweep of its history and the distinctiveness of its people and culture weave a tale that captivates and fascinates anyone who hears it. From our pirate past to our quiet revolution, from cave paintings in Rum Cay to the creations on Bay Street every Boxing Day and New Year's. There are stories of shocking strife and stunning revival, devastating loss and spectacular success. And above all, The wonderful human story of how Bahamians settled and thrived on these barren rocks and keys, developed a vibrant culture, and created the best little country in the world. This year, ZNS TV 13 will be honoring this wonderful legacy with the 13 on TV 13 documentary series on all kinds of subjects, designed to inform, educate, and entertain you, and share with you, the people, their stories and the glories that is the Bahamas. We invite you to join us.
You thought it was the talk of the town, but get ready for more.
More energy, more excitement, exhilarating, compelling, informative, educational talk on The Conversation.
I'm Shanique Miller. Pull up a chair with a cup of tea and join me weekdays at 4 on Radio Bahamas, 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, and The Light, 810 AM for The Conversation. I'm excited to have you around the table.
Business owners are excited about ZNS Northern Service Storm Central Hurricane packages because advertising rates are discounted up to 50%. That's right, get 50% off advertising packages this hurricane season from now through November 30th. Call our sales department at 351-3430 or 352-9713 and book your advertising package today.
Hey, I'm Megan Shepard, a reporter here at the ZNS Northern Service. Did you know that ZNS is right at your fingertips when you download the new ZNS app? Miss something in our newscast? That's okay. Simply pull up the app, swipe, and you'll find all of our news headlines and highlights. So what are you waiting for? Download the new ZNS app today.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Amajal Knowles with your Friday Sports. News from Puerto Rico moments ago, the Bahamas senior women's national basketball team picking up a win over Costa Rica 55-49. Via Forbes finishing with a team-high 16 points. The team finishes 2-2 during its trip to Puerto Rico for the Central Basket Women's 2018 Championship and finished 5th out of 7 teams. We'll have more details on this story in tomorrow's newscast. And some young Bahamian tennis players excelling in a tournament overseas. Bahamians Michael Major Jr., Jackson McTaggart, Kai Reese, and Patrick McTaggart are in Forest Hills, New York, playing in the 6th annual Little Mo's International. Michael won his semifinals match 6-1, 7-5, and is now in the finals. Jackson McTaggart won his semifinal match 6-1 and 6-love and is also in the finals. Kai Reese played well but lost in the quarterfinals 6-1 in both sets. And a similar fate for Patrick McTaggart, who lost in his final match 6-1 in both sets as well. Little Mo's International is open to players worldwide between the ages of 8 through 12. These tournaments are designed to provide good competition while fostering new friendships and sportsmanship. Players are also able to gauge their tennis ability against players of the same age. And after being named the 6th Woman of the Year in the WNBA, Jonquel Jones actually in the starting lineup last night, the 4th-seeded Connecticut Sun, as they played the 5th-seeded Phoenix Mercury in a second-round single-elimination playoff game at home. The first quarter was close with the Sun holding a slight 25-24 edge. The Sun managed to increase their advantage to 44-40 at the break. The second half belonged to the Mercury. They outscored the Sun at 32-27 in the third and 24-15 in the fourth. The Sun won and done, losing 96-86. Jonquel, a good all-around game, finishing 6 for 9 from the field with 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists in just over 26 minutes on the court.
After having their way with BTC on Tuesday before the heavens opened, Sunshine Auto Wildcats had to scratch and claw in this one as the NPSA finally able to close out its regular season last night. BTC actually held a 5-3 lead in the 4th inning, but from there the Wildcats would get it together, showing some championship pedigree, scoring the final 9 runs in the game en route to a 12-5 victory. First baseman Krishana Percenti on the team's win.
Oh man. It was a little bit rough tonight, starting out compared to the game prior, which was Tuesday night where we were beating them. We should have won that game. We lost, came back tonight, but we pulled through. We knew this was a game that we had to win, so we got the win.
She also credited the team's small ball lineup.
Oh man, the small ball, it had to work. We were pressuring coach at small ball. Once we get that, big batters come up, then we'll take it. We just really wanted to win. We needed it, and we got it.
Now, as for her expectations for the playoffs.
If I'm correct, we're playing the same team for the playoffs, I think, and we know exactly what they have. Like the team that they brought out tonight was in the team that was here on Tuesday, so it was a little rougher, tougher, but we're going to go back to the diamond for practice and come back ready for playoffs. We want to relax during the first round and end up for the championship. So once our pitcher gets her rest, we'll be good to go.
Melinda Bastian says despite the loss, the team still remains confident they can make some noise in the playoffs.
Well, all I can say is we lost tonight, but we got to get it together. Playoffs start Saturday. And I think we're seeing Wildcats again in the playoffs. We can beat them. We just need to cut down on the errors and focus on getting our bats together.
With that win, the Cats secured the pennant and a first-round matchup with the same BTC squad that they faced last night. The other half of the ladies' playoff bracket will feature the Platinum Pool Sharks and Johnson Lady Truckers. As for the men, the big one there will be the 2 versus 3 matchup between the Commando Security Truckers and BTC Warriors. The CNS Hitman won the men's pennant, will face off with the Chances Mighty Mints. And Buddy Bucket's doing exactly that. Buddy Hield taking part in the Rico Hines Open run at UCLA this past week, which has become a staple for NBA players over the past few off-seasons. And Buddy's competition, not exactly slouches. Also competing were several other NBA players, including MVPs James Harden and Russell Westbrook, and All-Star Paul George. Buddy can be seen torching defenders in the roughly 17-minute-long clip. Other NBA players that participated were Warriors forwards Jordan Bell and Kevon Looney, as well as Raptors guards DeLon Wright and Fred VanVleet. Hield, who figures to be an integral part of Sacramento's rotation this coming season, averaged just under 14 points last year while shooting 43% from behind the arc. Well, the New Providence Football Association gearing up to start another season. We caught up with one of the league's clubs as they get ready to make some serious noise. Head coach of the Dynamos Football Club under-18 girls squad, Carl Lynch, on how things are shaping up.
Then back in the swing after a long summer break. So we're working on fitness, some technique. Also a little bit of tactics. In particular, defense, we want to work on that this year. So we're focusing on that in the early goings.
As for his overview of the league.
Got a variety of girls out here. Most of them are 16, 17-year-olds. We have some 14 and 15s in here, various schools, public and private schools, various backgrounds. So they all come together to play and represent for Dynamos.
Al Lynch telling us the difference he sees in coaching between the male and female players.
I find the girls are more dedicated, and they will run through the wall for you, and it's unconditional, and they'll do it and work hard. And in the rain, I couldn't get them out in the rain right now. It's coming down, and so that's the main difference I find with the girls. And they'll come out there and have fun with each other, no attitudes. They pull and root for each other, whether they're on the field or on the bench or whatever. So I love it.
6 teams are expected to compete in that division this season. Wanted to know how the Bahamas manages to attract some of the big names in college basketball. Well, this lady's a vital part of that. Lee Miller-Tooley, president of Complete Sports Management, on some of the big schools brought down this year.
Bring a lot of the men's college basketball teams down to the summer for the Bahamas, and it's really an unbelievable experience for all the universities. We've had Kentucky, we've had North Carolina, Presbyterian, and Grand Canyon University.
He adds that staple events such as the Battle for Atlantis makes the Bahamas sports tourism brand that much more attractive.
Yeah, definitely. I do a lot of outreach to represent the Bahamas, as well as, just through the relationships that we've created through Battle for Atlantis. We have the top tournament in early men's season college basketball, and through the exposure of ESPN, as well as having the Bahamas Bowl with ESPN, it's really showcased this country to the world, and especially the world of college basketball.
The Summer of Thunder series wrapped up earlier this week.
And that's a look at sports on a Friday. I'm Amajal Knowles. Tonight's final weather forecast is up next.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
The Saffir-Simpson Hurricane Wind Scale was developed in 1971 by civil engineer Herbert Saffir and meteorologist Robert Simpson, who was the director of the U.S. National Hurricane Center. It was introduced to the public in 1973 and began to be widely used a year later. Inspired by the Richter scale that measures earthquakes, the Saffir-Simpson scale was divided into 5 categories. Originally, the Saffir-Simpson scale also included predicted barometric pressures associated with the various wind speeds, as well as the relative kinds of damage that could be anticipated. However, because those predictions were found to be very inaccurate, just a few years ago, the warning system was changed to include only the wind speeds, which were also adjusted upwards in the higher categories. A Category 1 hurricane has wind speeds between 74 and 95 miles per hour. A Category 2, 96 to 110 miles per hour. A Cat 3, 111 to 129 miles per hour. A Cat 4, 130 to 156 miles per hour. And a Category 5 hurricane will have winds from 157 miles per hour and up. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Agency.
The Morning Edition is here on the ZNS Television Network, waking up to traffic, weather, news, and developing stories. It's the Morning Edition with your ZNS News team, waking you up.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, upward wind chariot over our area will keep a lid on tropical cyclone development while that African dust continues to migrate towards the west all the way to the Lesser Antilles, and that will keep those tropical cyclones in check over the tropical Atlantic. And on the home front, we still have those systems generating showers and thunderstorms throughout the area. Low pressure trough across the northwest Bahamas, that's firing up pockets of showers and thunderstorms. Much of those are current over the open waters, but occasionally they will be moving inland from time to time. And then in the central and southeastern islands, the showers now have shifted from the Crooked Island, Acklands area now moving into the Long Island and Exuma area as that upper level trough continues to track more towards the west. So those two systems will keep things a little bit on the wet side as we head into the weekend. And you can see that nice cyclonic flow taking place over the southeast Bahamas. Tonight, we are going in for partly cloudy conditions. There will be some showers lurking around, thunderstorms in the mix as well. The low temperature tonight should get down to about 78 degrees. And tomorrow, looking at a mix of cloud and sunshine, and showers will be developing again in the afternoon and going into the evening hours. Some of those could be heavy at times as well, but they will be in spots, and that is the good news. 90 degrees for your high temperature tomorrow, so that would put your heat index with the heavy cloud cover somewhere just around 101 degrees. And the extended weather forecast over the next 7 days. Tomorrow, Saturday, a bit on the wet side, particularly in the afternoon hours. On Sunday, we will get some showers during the late morning and early afternoon hours as well. And then come the early part of next week, lots of sunshine working its way into the forecast, and that will continue right into Thursday of next week. But it seems as though we're going to have some more showers coming back into the forecast on Friday, and that will be due to another trough that will be moving into the area. But we'll tell you more about that come early next week.
So we need our umbrellas and the air conditioning on this weekend.
It would be a wise thing to keep those rain gears very handy, at least over the weekend. Once we get you into Monday, then things start drying up a bit.
Thanks so much, Basil. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope to see you right back here tomorrow. Have a great evening, everyone.
watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
To My Child and I, where parents and teachers and the wider community take a look once a week on how we can better raise our region's children. This week we're going to take a look at how parents with young children can really help to give their kids a really good start. And I'll also share with you a project that's helping to do just that in our region. So stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
It's the moments that make a house a home, where the goals are scored, but the company is always good. Where fashion is in today, out tomorrow, but your home is always in style. Where you can cook up a storm and pass on traditions. Where you laugh and create new memories together. Where family celebrations are non-stop and always full of surprises. Quartz adds the furnishing touch to all those moments in your